because he got me a new ring. Yo, girl, you got this guy waiting out here. What you doing? And welcome to another vlog. So today's gonna be a fun day. I'm going shopping with hubby over here who's making our bed. Don't mind him. But we're gonna do kind of like a shopping hangout day because it's our anniversary in just a few days. Today is Sunday. We did something that even me, I'm still like, we skipped church today. And my husband was like, we're skipping church today because our church just recently, a few months ago, started doing 3 services on Sundays instead of the 2 that we always did. And Daniel and I will go pretty much to both services every Sunday, but just going to 2 services every single Sunday is a lot. But now that our church has 3 services, Daniel and I almost every Sunday we're there for all 3 services. And the reason being, we are one of the ministers in our church. There are just a few ministers and our congregation is exploding. I think right now it's 500 or 600 people on attendance every single Sunday, if not more. So it is just craziness what God is doing in our church. And Daniel and I have really felt a call from God to get really behind our pastors and help them out as much as possible. One of us, I'm not gonna name names, might have lost their mind this week.
Let's be specific.
Like on Friday, I was in tears. I'm like, we have been going 100 miles an hour and I am so glad that we can take a little bit of a break. I feel like my makeup looks a little too dark for the daytime, but we're gonna roll with it. I was watching on TikTok, some girl talk about like high contrast makeup, low contrast makeup. I still don't know which one I am, but what I have been doing is asking ChatGPT a whole lot of questions about like, what's my, color season and all that. So I need to ask it like what makeup probably suits me best. But I learned that I'm actually an autumn. So if I'm an autumn, that means burnt orange looks best on me, like brownish burgundies. That's why I think this color looks so good on me. So this is my color season, guys. We're going into the fall. I don't know, I'm just learning, this is my colored season. We're going with it, okay? So I have my brown bag. This is from Target. I got it like last year. And then yesterday I went to Primark. Guys, don't sleep on Primark. Like we did a crazy shopping trip yesterday. We had 3 bags of this full and we only spent around $200. It was Daniel's birthday gift. And instead of everyone sending him, like buying him a gift because we went out to dinner with our families yesterday, I was like, just send him money. He wants Primark money. Anyways, so I got this really cute charm with a bow and I'm obsessed with Baroque pearl, but loving the back charm trend. This is, I think, from Amazon. I could wear it closed, but it's a little bit tight on me and I never exchanged it. So I think it looks really cute open. And then these pants are from Old Navy from forever ago. And then these shoes are from Primark. They're like the jelly flat trend. Love these. And then of course, all my Delicate by Carla jewelry, gemstone rings. I love a stacked hand, Delicate by Carla. And then my Delicate by Carla little stack and a scrunchie to match the shoes with the burgundy because we do have some burgundy going on. And the shirt and my beaded necklaces from Delicate by Carla. I love this. This one I just made this week and this one last week and they're so cute. I also love the beaded necklace trend, glasses by Zenny. That's the outfit to go shopping. Okay, let's make today fun. Why not? I made a little list of things that we're actually on the market for. Number 1 is Daniel needs a pair of work shoes and he needs them to be black. He needs them to be plain. They're very specific about what they want him to wear his new job. Then I want more purse charms, kind of like the ones that I have, but I'm looking for purse charms that are like chain. Life is not fun if this is not what you sound like. And then I want a pair of fall boots. So to church, I usually wear like heeled sandals. I usually wear heeled boots, especially in the fall. But I love me a good sling back, pointed toe sling back, heck yeah. But now that we do 3 services a lot of Sundays, your homegirl cannot lead worship for 3 services in a pair of sling back pumps, okay? And I go to Hispanic church, guys, so we dress up, you know how we do. And then I also need some barrel jeans. We have a little bit of a drive as we are on our way to get some breakfast before we go and hit Target to get what I am looking for. So I thought we would go ahead and start a little bit of the interview process with Daniel. So here's some of the things that I want to ask Daniel today. I want to ask him, what men are looking for in a Christian woman, what good men are looking for. Let me make that specification.
I think one of the biggest things that a man is going to look for is someone who's actually pursuing something. If she's like in la la land and limbo, just kind of floating around, not knowing what she wants to do with her life, not only is that unattractive, but it's not what a good Christian man is looking for. Aimless. Yeah, I think that's a good word. So we're looking for someone who's reaching towards something. It doesn't necessarily have to be ministerially speaking. Like, we're not saying you have to be a pastor or a preacher, but that you have your life together and you're heading in a direction and the Lord is with you as you do it.
Like that. And not everyone is going to feel like a call to ministry, but I think the main thing is are you heading somewhere in your life? Like, if you are just aimlessly going on about your life, that's not a healthy relationship to get into with someone who's really not headed anywhere. Like, you tell me you have no goals in your life. You tell me you don't feel a call from God somewhere. It doesn't have to be to ministry, because not everyone, I've come to figure this out in my life, just not everyone's called to ministry. Like, that's not the only thing that God calls us to. It's just one of the many things. It's a beautiful call. It's a glorious call, but it's not the only thing that God has for us. For example, you might feel this call from God to go into business. Like, you might feel called from God to be in the healthcare field. We need people everywhere, right? We need good Christian fearing, God fearing people in all these places. The Loop in Kissimmee. It's just this really awesome shopping area that has literally everything you could possibly need. And we personally come here to the Converse clearance store and to the Nike clearance store. But we were just talking about like how women need to learn to be independent. Like, I've always been fiercely independent. Really, my parents, especially my mom, was really overprotective of us when we were growing up. I felt like me doing things in life was almost an act of defiance, because like she didn't want us to drive yet. She was always scared of us going places, and I have had to learn to be very, very independent in my life, getting my education. My mom tells me all the time, "Te deja atrevida," or in other words, you are very daring. You just do whatever you want. And I am, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I'm here vlogging in public, super uncomfortable, but you still push yourself to do it. So that's a good quality to have, I think, as a woman. You're just daring, push yourself to do what you're uncomfortable, and that's how you grow. And you have to have a very grown character when you want to date. You don't have to be perfect, but I feel like you have to be growing.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys, I am so mad at my husband. It's been a while since I talked to you. We visited a few stores, we had lunch, but I am so mad at my husband because he got me a new ring. Dan, why you spend money on me? I feel so excited.
Our anniversary party.
So one of the things that we do a lot when we go shopping, I'll randomly walk into a jewelry store, fine jewelry store, and one of my favorite places to shop for fine jewelry has got to be JCPenney. So JCPenney has this thing where they put their jewelry on a ridiculous discount. A lot of my wedding bands that I have purchased or jewelry that I purchased over the years, for example, this one on my ring finger, this is all sapphires and it's like 14 karat gold on top of sterling silver. So this ring's gonna last for forever, and it's like lab created sapphires. So I got it for like $25 at JCPenney. Usually sells for $125 or so, which is pretty good market value for sterling silver jewelry that is covered in real gold. But to get it for $25, like that is 80%, 70% discount. I don't know, y'all. I don't know math. But this ring, so anyways, let me get back to my story. The fine jewelry section, because this is like semi-fine jewelry because it's not real gold, it's sterling silver. But guys, I always love going to like the fine jewelry counter to see what prices they have. If you go to the clearance section at JCPenney, what they'll do is that throughout the year they'll do these crazy sales where whatever is on the clearance counter, and I'm talking fine jewelry, I'm talking lab grown diamond, that's usually where you're gonna get the best prices. Lab grown diamond, lab grown gemstones on real gold, 10K, 14K gold jewelry. What will happen is they'll put those clearance jewelry on an even bigger discount, and whatever the clearance price is, they'll do like an extra 50%. Today it was an extra 55%, and this is a 10 karat gold. Personally, I like 10 karat gold. I actually have this ring. This is just like a 3 or 4 millimeter comfort band. It's a rose gold, but I love that it's 10K because it has less gold. So it's a pinkish color, and I personally like that. Some rose gold that's higher carats can actually look more yellow than rose gold. So personally, I go for the one that looks the most rose gold. And so I was just browsing the fine jewelry counter. There was this ring that was like $120 and it was real 10K gold, yellow and white gold, and it was chunky and gorgeous. I wish I would have shown it. Oops, my microphone fell off. I was like really considering getting it, but I was like, I don't want to spend $120. Like that wasn't the vibes today. But then this lady shows us this ring. It's ruby. So I have shown you guys my lab grown ruby. This one is one I got from TJ Maxx. Like I told you, it was just a set that was like 20 something dollars, and it came with this ring and the one on my index finger that I wear over here. It's real lab grown rubies. I love lab grown gemstones. They tend to be brighter in color. And she showed us this 3-stone rubies. Ruby is my favorite gemstone. Rubies and green emerald. And then it has real lab grown diamonds on the side. I love lab grown diamonds. So something that Daniel and I talk about all the time. It's so easy for girls. I don't want to say that girls are easy, but kind of. Like you should be a challenge to conquer. Guys need to feel like you are something to be conquered. I'm not saying play the damsel in distress and fake to be something that you are not.
Fake, but play the damsel in distress. Pretend the thing is too heavy. Pretend you don't know how to open doors. Pretend you don't know how to pick up that box.
See, I don't have to pretend, because when he's in the room, I just forgot how to do all that.
Yeah, and as a woman, you have to find a man that's gonna do that. And if he doesn't show you that when you're dating, it's gonna sound so wrong, because I'm not trying to discourage anybody.
Because you're supposed to be on your best behavior when you're dating.
Right. When you're dating, he's showing you his best, and if he's not showing you that when you're dating, you're probably not gonna get it when you're married. That's the sad truth. I'm sorry. I don't mean to discourage anybody. I don't mean to discourage anyone.
That was a mic drop. It's true though. When you're dating someone, if they're not giving you their best, like if they're literally not putting in the most amount of effort to impress you, because they should be trying to impress you. Now, I know narcissists be out here trying to impress you, but
love bombing.
No. Don't fall for the love bombing, because if there's other red flags, then be careful. I totally understand. But a man should be putting his best foot forward when you are dating. If you feel neglected, if you feel like he's not helping you, if you feel like he is not, like Daniel, I've said this so many times, but like when we were dating, and if Daniel said he was going to pick me up at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, we were going to a brunch, he's going to pick me up at 12. He was always there 10 minutes early, waiting outside, and my mom would be like, yo, girl, you got this guy waiting out here. What you doing? You know, my mom used to get so mad at me, but like, I was like, but he's early. But here's the thing, like, it started to show for me a pattern of him being super responsible, a man of his word. Because if you can't even keep your word about what time you're picking me up because we're having brunch, how are you going to keep your word when it comes time to be a provider in our home? When are you going to keep your word when it comes time to be a father and show up for your child? If you can't even keep your word with something as simple as a commitment to take me out to eat. Do you feel like women shouldn't work, do anything? Or do you really feel like, no, go make something of yourself?
No, absolutely not. Go make something of yourself, like 100%. And it's not saying that because you're a stay-at-home mom or that's what you do, that you're not, that's still something. And that's still a great thing. But that's not the only thing. You know, go make something of yourself. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You should be something worth conquering. And it kind of goes back to like the guy conquering something and like winning the prize at the end. The woman is the prize, 100%. The woman is the prize, and the man has to go and conquer, slay the dragon, and get that prize. But then also be the thing worth conquering. It's not that he just has to conquer. It's like, why am I going to go slay a dragon if there's no glory or no gold behind it? What does the Bible say is what does it say? The glory of a woman. Her inner beauty is the glory of a woman. The type of woman that you are as an individual. That's worth conquering. Getting that is worth conquering.
So Daniel, what are some places that girls can go to meet some good guys? Because something that I hear very often is, where are all the good guys? And I have to agree. I'm like, where are all the good guys? Where do you go to meet good guys, and how do you weed them out? Because there's a lot of girls that I've met that they really do think, hey, this guy is a great candidate, and then they go on one date or have a few conversations and they're like, this guy does not want something from me that is pure and holy. So Daniel, where do we go, or where do the girls go to find a good guy?
At church. I'm not kidding. They're at church, and it's not the one that's at church sitting in a corner going through his process. No, it's the one that's serving. It's the one that's opening doors, like as an usher. Or it's the one that's collecting the offering. Maybe the one that's opening services, although he's probably already married. The one that's closing services. The one that's doing things like that. The one that's working in different ministries in the church. The one that's already of service to the community. That's where he's at. That's where they're at. Because they exist and they are there. I promise you. But you have to be the one that they're looking for too.
I think so much of what we're taught is like, you need to find the one, and it's not really about finding the one. It's about, I mean, obviously you gotta find just one, if you know what I mean. But some people out here got 2 or 3, hallelujah. But I think it's more about becoming someone that really pushes the guy to be like, oh my God, I need to conquer that dragon, and I need to slay the giant, because I want to save that damsel. Like, she is truly someone worth fighting for. So do become her. Be her. You are her. And you'll see, you'll attract, I think you attract what you are. I mean, sometimes some things will, I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes the flies and the moths are going to be attracted to the flame, if you know what I mean.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. If we can take my personal story into account, like, you didn't land at my doorstep. Like, I attracted you. Does that make sense? Because of my trajectory in ministry, like what I was doing at church, that attracted you. It wasn't just that, like, oh, you stumbled, like you fell, and we just happened to land at each other's step. No, obviously, our siblings were together and everything, but it was more than just that. Like, your involvement in ministry, your relationship with God, my involvement in my relationship with God, those are 2 things that definitely attracted to each other. Like, you do 100% attract what you are. 100%.
That is so good. Daniel and I have constant conversations about how men will step up to the plate when you also hold them up to a standard. Now, it's not a responsibility to make sure a guy acts like right. For the men out there, you also have a responsibility to be a good human being and treat women with respect and honor. However, I do agree that women have also allowed a lot of things that are incorrect. And what you allow around you just continues to breed. And if you are dating someone that treats you poorly, cut it out. oh, okay, we're through. Don't do the back and forth thing. Don't do the, oh, but you know, he likes me and then he love bombs me and wins me back. So what? So what? Ladies, we need to learn to be less impressed. I'm not impressed by gifts. I'm not impressed by you took me out on one nice date. I grew up with a dad who would take me out every single week with my sister and my brother, and like he would hold our hands, like me and my sister. He always taught me, like, if you're walking with me, you are not walking on the side of traffic. I always have you walking on the side where there's no traffic, because if something, God forbid, were to happen, I'm taking the hit. Like, I grew up with a good dad. Like, he taught me manners. He taught me, no, this is how real men act. So when Daniel came along, I was able to recognize that he wasn't a counterfeit, that he was the real thing, because my dad taught me what the real thing is. My brother too. My brother treated me and my sister very, very well. When we were out in public, he would always protect us. He wouldn't walk ahead of us or leave us behind. He would like walk behind us and make sure, you know, like he was very good about that. And so some of you ladies, maybe you haven't had a good dad or a good brother or a good stepdad or whoever in your life. And so it's kind of like, what is the real thing? What is a good thing? So it's hard to discern for yourself who is a good guy and who truly has good intentions. See, as women of God, we cannot enable poor behavior, narcissistic behavior, full of the devil behavior. So Daniel, what does the counterfeits look like and what does the real thing look like?
This is something that you ladies aren't going to want to hear. You can see red flags. You just tend to ignore them. Red flags are they're very clear to see. Watch how they interact with, if they are an individual who they have family members in their life, if they have siblings, watch how he interacts with his siblings. Watch how he treats his mother. Watch how he treats his father. If you guys are in church together, watch how he treats the other people in church. Watch how he interacts with them. What are the kind of jokes that you hear? Women are good at this, so I don't have to tell you. You're good at eavesdropping, 100%. You could be having a full-blown conversation with some chick right here on your left and hear everything that the dude is saying in another conversation, and he's on the other side of the church. Do that. Like, listen to what's going on. Listen to how he speaks. Watch how he carries himself, and you're gonna be able to tell. Like, don't look at things and say, that's something that he needs to fix. No, that's a red flag, and that's okay. Like, and call that out. I'm not saying you have to go up to him and be like, I want you, but you got to fix A, B, and C. No, because that's toxic. Don't do that either. But when you're looking for like the filtering, like what you want to filter, start there. Start with how he interacts with other people. Start with his conversations with other people. What do you see? When people show you who they are, when he shows you who you are or who he is, believe him.
It's so good. What about, give me a few red flags. Give me a few things that let us know this dude is a counterfeit.
Ignores everybody. That's not shy. That's weird. Especially when people go up to him to have that conversation. If he creates no type of relationships with anyone, that's not a cork. That's not a quirk. A quirk. What? How do you say it?
Quirk.
Quirk? How do you spell that?
Quirk. Quirk. Is that not what you would?
Quirk. Quirk.
Quirk.
It's not a weird thing.
Quirk.
Let's go with that. It's not a quirk. That's not a quirk. That's there's something. He could be trying to hide something. Again, I know this is really rough, but if you haven't had a male figure to tell you this, I'm glad to be that one. He's probably hiding something. When they're out and they're talking and they're talkative and like, do they have best friends? Like, that's a huge deal. Do they have best friends? Do you know the best friends? Is the best friend in a midnight club every other day? Because he's probably there too, just not in the pictures. Does that make sense, what I'm saying, Carla? Yeah. You picking up what I'm putting down?
When someone shows you their true colors, don't make excuses for the red flags that you're seeing. Don't say, well, he was just having a bad day. He cussed me out, but he was just having a bad day.
It's wild.
I paid Daniel $100 to try. Daniel has raised his voice like maybe twice in our marriage, and it's because I was pushing his buttons on purpose, not to air out or stuff. But like, honestly, no, you don't raise your voice at me. You don't lose your patience. One thing that Daniel and I talk a lot about, and this again is going to be hard truth, but it's truth nonetheless. One thing that Daniel and I talk a lot about is the fact that as men have strength. Men have strength. That's just how God made them. Doesn't matter. I can get attacked by a guy half my size, and I think the guy half my size is gonna have me beat. Because men, their muscles, this is the nurse in me talking, men's muscles receive a lot more oxygen than women. Men's lung capacity is higher, their heart capacity. God created their bodies stronger than ours, and the Bible literally says us women are the weaker vessel, so men are supposed to protect us and give up their lives up for us. The Bible literally says, men, love your wives as Christ loves the church, and be willing to give up your life for her. The Bible doesn't have that same call for women. The Bible says, women, submit to your husbands. But then right after that, it says, but men, you need to be willing to give up your life for her. So it's not just submit to your husband. It's like, yeah, because he's literally the one that they're gonna have to give an account to God if they protected you the way they were supposed to or not. And because men have the capacity they are stronger than women and the capacity to hurt them, this is why, like, men are held to, I don't want to say a higher standard, but definitely a high standard of how they treat women. Because if we are the weaker vessel, you need to treat us with kindness, respect, and dignity. And a lot of women that I have met and just that I have observed tend to be sometimes have kind of a masculine energy in terms of like they're rough, they don't want help, they want to be uber independent, and a lot of them is because they've been hurt by a man. They've been hurt by a man who did not keep their word, who bamboozled them, who lied, who was deceitful, or even who physically hurt people in their lives or even themselves, the women themselves. So I have just come to find out that men need to be more protective and kinder to women because they do have the capacity to hurt them in ways that you couldn't even imagine. So that's why you need to be a good father and you need to be a good husband, good boyfriend. And if you're dating someone and they're showing tendencies towards violence and explosive character, impatience, or poor treatment of others, you need to believe that, because we're talking about that man is also going to have to be someone who's supposed to protect you, not just emotionally, but also physically. So if they don't have good character, you need to be very, very careful with that. Guys, we really hope that in some way, shape, or form, this conversation, this vlog was really helpful for you guys. Comment down below if you want more videos like this one, because I think this was good, Daniel.
I enjoyed it. This was nice.
I love bringing my husband on the channel because yes, we talk about business, we talk about, vlogs and stuff, but I also want to bring stuff to you guys that's educational and going to help you in your life. As a Christian girly, like I said, I have felt conviction from God this year to bring you more vlogs that are actually going to give you practical tips for godly living. If you have other comments or if you have any other things that you also think are great tips for when you are dating and trying to discern if this is someone that God has for you, leave them down below in the comments. But as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.